Hello everyone, this is Little Black Dragon, and you're watching another installment of Let's Play Dragon Age Origins Dwarven Commoner Edition. In our last installment, we finished getting back to Arl Eamon's estate, and we set up our next plan of attack, which is to go check out the unrest in the Elven Alienage, and we'll be stopping at the Grey Warden hideout and the Nod Noble Tavern on the way. But before we did that, we spoke to Anora, and she wants us to support her to stay on the throne, and in return, she'll help us prove that Loghain is crazy, and that the Grey Wardens need to fight the Blight. Well, I suggested a compromise, or rather Gilda suggested a compromise that would be beneficial. Nora would be allowed to continue ruling, and she does have a lot of skill with governance and political intrigue and whatnot, and I think that would be good, but she doesn't quite have the heart that I think would be needed during a time such as the Blight, and she doesn't have the Grey Warden know-how that Alistair does, and Alistair also does have Theron blood, in addition to that Grey Warden know-how and how to deal with blights and whatnot. And he knows how important the Grey Wardens are. So I suggested a political union in which Alistair and Anora would marry. It would be seen as a compromise because the interests of the Grey Wardens are still upheld, but they are seen as also supporting a neutral party, which is Anora. And she was concerned that, the relationship might become more than a political union, and I told her, well, actually I'm fine with this. And the reason I think that my character would be okay with this is because that she comes from a culture where having those kind of relationships is quite common and not unheard of in the slightest. I mean, her sister Rika is technically a concubine to Balin, even though he does care about her like his own wife. And many nobles have these concubines or other extramarital or relationships, so I don't, even though my character is a good character, I see this as being a cultural thing, where she wouldn't necessarily mind having to have Alistair marry someone else for the greater good. I mean, Alistair will probably be upset, but in her mind, this is the best course of action because Ferelden will get an ideal combination. Someone who can deal with political intrigue and governance and all that other stuff, but also someone who knows how to deal with Darkspawn and how to associate with regular people and bring that heart, that kindness, that moral compass that leadership also needs. Which is why, in this playthrough, I am going to have Alistair and Anora marry and rule jointly. But you have to talk to Alistair and Anora and make sure they agree. Alright, let's go talk to Alistair and see what he has to say. But first we might suggest this to Eamon and see what he thinks about it.
Warden, let me know if there's any assistance I can give you. We have much to do and little time.
I should get to work.
We need to do all that we can in the few days left to us before the landsmeet.
So I guess I can't talk to him then. Well, let's at least talk to Alistair.
So I'm guessing someone told Anora I was planning to steal her throne. She has a nasty glare. She wants to be queen. I get it. I don't trust her any more than her father, but I get it.
You don't think she should be queen?
No, she probably should be. That doesn't mean she's going to be. They say that Anora is smart, determined. She's supposedly the one who's really ruled here, not Kaelin. She's her father's daughter. Me? I say that's where the problem lies. People like her and her father always think they're the only ones who can fix things. So everyone should just stay out of their way. What do you think? When the landsmeet comes, you might even have a say.
Well, you think they'll listen to a dwarf?
I think they'll listen to a Grey Warden. One who just might save this country yet.
Well, I need to talk to you.
So, I just saw Anora not long ago. Strange story. She gave me the strangest look. Like she was sizing up whether the cow was ready for slaughter. I asked her why. You know what she said? It would be like marrying his twin. I misheard that, right? Tell me I misheard.
Actually, you did hear right, and I was just going to talk to you about it.
Marry her? As in marriage? As in be her husband? You've spoken to her about this? You did, didn't you? Why would you do that? What about us?
I know, but this is important.
All right. I'll accept that for now. Why do you think I should do this then? Tell me.
I think it's the best compromise for peace, to be honest.
Compromise? Yes, I suppose the landsmeet would like the sound of that. All right. You've convinced me. If it comes to that, I'll agree to marry her. Make her help us all. Go and tell her, if you think it's a good idea. Me? I think I need a drink. Or 10.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey. I know you don't like this, and honestly, I don't particularly like this either, because I don't particularly entirely trust her, but at the same time, she makes a good point. At least you're willing to be a good sport about this. But honestly, I think I might join you for a drink or 10 later as well, because I'm not feeling too confident about this. Alright, well then, let's go tell Anora the good news? Question mark? Okay then. Alright, Anora? I guess we're ready to get down with this?
Well, have you spoken to my lucky betrothed yet? Or will we be reduced to passing notes?
Well, he's agreed to your terms.
He has? I wasn't expecting that, to tell you the truth. To marry Kaelin's brother. Well, I suppose stranger things have happened. If it will truly help matters... And what of you, Warden? What will become of you once I am married?
What do you mean?
Kaelin had his women. He was thoughtful enough to keep them discreet. But I always knew. Am I to have yet another husband whose eyes lie elsewhere? If so, I would appreciate knowing now.
Well... honestly, that is a fair question. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I am not going anywhere, Your Majesty.
I see. Then all I wish is that you two do not embarrass me. That is, I think, not unfair to ask.
Of course.
Is this it, then? I agree to marry Alistair, to retain my throne, and in exchange I give you my support. If not, then tell me now.
Marry Alistair, and you have my support.
Done. So, we have a deal, Warden. I trust you'll keep your end of the bargain. Now, I suppose, comes the task of dealing with my father. That will be no small feat, of course, but I am certain you already know this. I imagine you have much to do. Is there anything else you needed from me?
Well, do you need anything?
No. And while I know your concern is hardly disinterested, still... thank you.
Actually, I want to ask you something.
I have spoken with Alistair. Perhaps this mad betrothal won't be quite the curse it first seemed.
Alright then. Well, I actually wanted to ask you something, but whatever.
I have spoken with Alistair.
Alright, right. Yep, okay, I get it. I guess I'll go speak with Alistair some more.
I haven't been here in a while. They've changed the dining room. Ask away.
I have some questions.
Of course.
Never mind. I guess I really can't talk to anybody right now. It actually kind of bothers me, but... yeah, there was supposed to be some dialogue between you and Anora about Loghain. So, basic backstory is that he was a commoner, but he became good friends with King Merrick and rose up through the ranks. And of course, Merrick's son, Kaelin, married Anora. Now, the thing is, Loghain isn't actually a terrible person. He does care about his country and wants to do what's best for it. The problem is he's blinded by how terrified he is of his country being subjugated again. And he has done some terrible things that he honestly needs to answer for. Well, she will basically say how she basically doesn't want to lose him, which is understandable. This is her father we're talking about. But in the end, I think it is in the best interest that he answer for his crimes. Of course, I don't actually come right out and say that because I want to be nice to her. But, I guess we won't be able to ask her about her father, but that's basically what the conversation entailed, and I'm sorry I wasn't able to do that. I should have asked her if I could ask some questions first. I deeply apologize for my forgetfulness in this endeavor. So, anyway, we've kind of covered a lot of dialogue, all things considered, including some conversations that people tend to miss. So, for what it's worth, I think we're still doing pretty well. So, again, that conversation is there if you manage to catch it. But if you don't, it's not the end of the world, but it does give you some interesting backstory on Loghain. It might change your mind as to who you decide to support for your bid in the landsmeet. It may not. But this is what happens. And this is how it's going to go. So, now that that's taken care of, I think we will take Alistair and Zevron.
Yes.
And Wynn.
Yes.
And head to the Nod Noble Tavern and the Grey Warden Vault. And we might actually grab all of our stuff from the party chest, since I don't know if you can go back and grab everything. So I think I will probably do that. Oh, and everyone leveled up, I see. So I guess I'll take care of that then. And you leveled up. And we'll max out your stealth. Which means we can give you... oh well. I'll have to sell those. And all of this other stuff because we don't need it. Or that. Well, actually, we might want to keep that axe, considering we'll need some weapons in Dragon Age Awakening. Oh, and I forgot to level up Wynn. Sorry about that, honey. Let's give you more willpower. And we'll give you frost weapons. And with that, we are out of time, but I will see you all on the next installment of Let's Play Dragon Age Origins Dwarven Commoner Edition. You know my usual spiel. See you next time.